Good afternoon, Southeast Asia, and we welcome you back to the most prestigious league in League of Legends, the Garena Premier League Summer 2017. I am Vulcan, and with me is my co-caster, Amplifier. We will be your set of casters for the next set of Gigabyte Marines versus Ascension, the most classic match we've always seen throughout GPL.
Yeah, we saw them fight against each other back in GPL 2017 spring, and if you guys remember, the result of that, it was actually Gigabyte Marines with a really dominating performance in that best of 5. It was actually a straight up 3-0, and now we're going to be seeing the match once again to find out who is going to be taking that winner seed going straight into the group stage of Worlds. Now, Ascension, again, they are the underdogs of this match. Gigabyte Marines, of course, are really probably undisputedly the strongest team in Southeast Asia. But Ascension, you know, they still have some hope. Again, if they win this, it's going to be really freaking huge if they win this. They're going to get a straight seed over to the group stage. But whoever loses this match is actually going to be facing Young Generation tomorrow, I believe, to find out who will be seeded into the play-in stage of Worlds.
This is actually, in my opinion, their own tournament, because this is for them, the final. Because this is the revenge, the comeback from them, the loss they experienced in the past GPL, the spring 2017, will be answered here, right now, of Ascension against the Marines. Let's get straight to it. For me, Ascension really is one of the strongest teams that has been consistent throughout, but let's face it, we all know that the heart of the Garena region is undoubtedly the Gigabyte Marines. We have to give them this recognition. They are the real reason why we have 2 slots for Worlds, because of their outstanding performance. But let us not forget Ascension, who has always been the shadow of the Marines. Well, will we see that? Will Ascension beat the Marines? Let's get straight to it.
Alright, so let's take a look at the ban. So that's going to be Jace, Kled, and Thresh banned on the side of Gigabyte Marines. Meanwhile, Ascension will be banning out Gragas, Kalista, and Elise. So it's going to be actually Rakan locked in for Gigabyte Marines. This is going to be his first time, although, to be fair, the Gigabyte Marines have only played 3 games so far in this tournament. They really haven't had to show much of their strategy. Unlike Ascension, they've played 5 games so far in this tournament. So let's see what they do decide to lock in. It's going to be Saya and Sejuani, actually, for that first rotation there. And then it's going to be possibly the Jarvan. So, of course, it's always going to be a popular pick right now in this meta.
One reason, though. Do you know why, Amplifier? I mean, the reason why the Jarvan is such a good pick is because, in my opinion, it's not just the meta itself, but how in the C region we just love our team fights to be very controlled. Because when you start Team Clash, why start something that you don't have an advantage? But when you pick this Jarvan, the whole dynamic of the clash changes into the person's favor. Well, it may work for them or against them.
Yeah, that is true. Although, also to be fair, in the 3 games that GAM have played so far in this tournament, they've played Jarvan all 3 times actually. It was either in the jungle or in top lane, mostly going to Levi, and that's going to be actually Varus locked in there. So since Kalista and Saya are not around, they choose to grab that instead of the Tristana, and there's going to be Renekton finalizing the pick there for the first rotation. So let's see how the bans go. Gnar taken away from Archie this time. He hasn't played him yet though in this tournament. And then it's going to be Kennen banned next. So that's actually pretty interesting. Kennen being taken away from Archie as well. Not really that popular in the top lane anymore, but Archie still does like to play that. And Tarek's being banned as well.
Strong support bans coming in from the Marines. They have picked up the Rakan. So normally you would take any measure to at least make sure the bot lane remains let's say, not at the short end of the stick. They don't have any disadvantages, but however, picking the Renekton last, this gives the Marines a chance to, let's say, we can flex this Jarvan at top or the jungle, but we'll see. Ascension, they know, they are predicting that or thinking that this would be a jungle Jarvan, seeing how they are banning out the Gnar and Kennen.
Yeah, let's see actually what ASC decides to lock in next. Will they give G4 the last pick? Because, you know, we always have to keep in mind Optimus is the star player of GAM, so they want to be able to get some kind of leverage maybe to face Optimus in this mid lane. Let's see who they do decide to lock in. Alistar is actually locked in there for Warlock. Played him once so far in the 5 games they've played, and that is, well, it should be a pretty good duo there with Saya. Maokai Going to be the next pick there, going over for Archie, which does confirm, I think, that Jarvan is going to the jungle, although
Could
Maokai
be.
can go to the jungle as well. So
Everything
we'll have to see.
can be flexed right now.
Yeah. So we'll have to see. It's going to be Optimus next. What mid laner will they go for? No mid laners were banned, actually. And so far, Optimus has played Kassadin, Lucian, and Corki in this tournament. So we'll see what he decides to bring out. Possibly the Syndra, which was his favorite, actually, when they played against Ascension back in spring.
So, let's see this old rivalry come again. I gotta say, I'm pretty excited to see how Ascension has grew throughout the training, for their training in the GPL, but I think for the Gigabyte Marines, why expect something that you are going to be expecting a lot of them? Why?
Oh.
Wait a minute.
Wow, so it's going to be the Fizz. Okay, so Ascension hasn't, G4 rather, has not played Fizz so far in the 5 games of this tournament. So this is actually a really interesting pick right now. And you have 2 carries on GAM that aren't very mobile. Syndra and Varus both aren't very mobile carries. So G4, you know, if he can play the assassin style well, he can actually dodge through a lot of these engaged champions that GAM have and slip into the back line. It's very interesting to see if G4 can play that, because so far in the 5 games that Ascension have played, G4 has been playing mages. He's played Orianna, Syndra, Vlad, Talia. The only other exception is Echo, who he's actually played in the mid lane. So let's see if G4 can pull a playstyle like that off. I'm actually really interested to see how this mid lane will turn out.
Against a Syndra, though, I'm pretty scared for G4. It's more of a skill matchup.
Yeah, it is, actually.
Heavily skill matchup in the mid lane. This is going to be a very interesting matchup because we're going to be seeing that G4 will be challenging Optimus, the star player of the Marines, with his Fizz. It's more time-based, where whoever makes the one small wrong move could spell disaster. You may use your Trickster too early.
Yeah.
I mean, Optimus will still have his stun, so this is going to be very tense in the mid lane.
Yeah, and I mean, this is only game 1, right? This is usually the time in the best of 5 where teams can sort of experiment and bring out picks that they think may or may not work as the game goes. But at the same time, you also have to think about the morale, right? Like, we usually think about the momentum of games. Whoever wins game 1, you know, it really boosts their morale, and it could carry over into the further games. But at the same time, you know, I wonder if this kind of pick from G4 will be enough to give Ascension the kind of lead that they need to beat GAM. Because like we've said, Ascension really are the underdogs of this match. GAM, we all have to be honest, they seem to be on a different level compared to a lot of their counterparts here in Southeast Asia. They, like we said, they performed so well at the mid-season invitational this year that they've granted Southeast Asia a 2nd seed. But yeah, again, the skill discrepancy of GAM compared to a lot of the other teams is quite far. Even Ascension, who is considered the 2nd strongest team probably in C, is still quite far in terms of skill compared to GAM. So we'll have to see if Ascension can exploit some kind of weakness on GAM's side.
So as far as go for the ranking of the C, from the performance of Young Generation, but let's get straight to this game because this is the game between Gigabyte Marines and Ascension Gaming. This is the first game of Match 2 of the Knockout Stages, Day 2 of the GPL Summer 2017.
Yes, and also keep in mind that whoever wins this match is actually going to be going straight to World's group stage. So both of these teams definitely want to win this best of 5. The loser will be facing Young Generation tomorrow to find out which of these teams will be going over to the play-in stage of Worlds.
And this is going to be a very cutthroat match because this is a match where Ascension, in my opinion, cannot afford to lose. Because if they do lose this, remember, note that Ascension almost got reverse swept by Young Generation. You're talking about Young Generation, the 2nd seed of Vietnam, the little brother of the Gigabyte Marines. For me, in my opinion, Ascension right now has so much room to grow during this GPL.
That's very true. And hopefully, we see some semblance of that growth in this game. Looking at the team compositions, GAM, they have a lot of team fight potential on their side. You know, you've got a lot of the Engage and CC, especially from Levi, Archie, and Noe.
Preemptive ward.
Maybe we'll see that team fight prowess throughout the game. Meanwhile, Ascension, they're quite mixed. Hopefully, they're probably looking for that win lane, win game style because you do have the Fizz and the Renekton in the lane. So let's see if Nooney can help affect the lanes enough and really give G4 and Jisoo that boost they need to get the gold lead in their lanes.
And as far as going towards team clash or team matchups, it's going to be very explosive to level 3. But when it comes to pre-level 6, this would be the Marines at least controlling the lane pressure.
Yeah.
For now. Well, Ascension, they have to wait till level 3, 4, 5, 6. When it hits 6,
Ooh.
it's on Ascension side. See, this is how G4 will really struggle pre-level 3. But right now, Levy going in for the gang.
Oh.
Surprise from the sky. Risu did not see that coming. A slow from the red buff. Maybe enough. He does flash away, avoiding that knock-up. Another flash by Archie over that wall will grant the Marines a good start.
Nice surprise there coming in from Levi and giving Archie, or rather getting himself a kill and Archie an assist. And that's actually the last thing that Jisoo needed there in the top lane. You know, being a Renekton, you do want to get that lead, but Levi will be blocking that away from him. Meanwhile, like we were mentioning in the mid lane, you know, G4 going to be receiving a lot of harass from Optimus here, so he's probably going to need a bit of help from Nuni. And like you mentioned, pre-6, ASC, they're going to have to be a bit patient and careful, you know, a bit cautious because of the matchups.
And see, this is G4 really feeling the pressure of a Syndra. A lane bully right now in the mid lane, but we did see that Jisoo, he was just doing what any normal player would do. 3-minute mark, wore that brush. He was at the wrong place, but at the right time for Levy. He did. It was blind. It was a blind brush. No vision there. A surprise for Levy and a first blood for the Marines. Will be going towards Levy. This is big trouble because normally when we see a Jarvan getting 2 long swords, it's more than enough to increase the clear time.
Yep, that's true. Meanwhile, at the bot lane, you know, looking at the matchup, things still looking pretty even so far. And I guess the junglers will really be the ones we have to watch out for in this game, because they can really tilt certain lanes in a specific way, especially so for Ascension, because right now their lanes are kind of losing out. So once Nuni hits that level 6, Ascension need to make sure that they can maximize, you know, that possible engage potential they've got, especially with the Sejuani and the Alistar. You know, once they hit that level 6, that changes the way their team fights work drastically. So hopefully, you know, they can find that opening. But so far, you know, Gigabyte Marines, they just have to keep things up. They've got a lot of pick potential on their side, you know, with the Rakan, with the Jarvan. Ooh, nice dodge.
G4 really showing his confidence right now, seeing how Optimus is a bit low on mana so far, but in the mid lane matchup, how it goes. But when it comes to level 6, as you said, this will shape Ascension's flow. I mean, you're talking about an Alistar with a built-in stun with the E. And now you're going to be talking about Nuni with Sejuani with a permafrost from another stun. So when level 6 does happen, Ascension will get this good control, but let's see if they will use it.
Yeah, that's really what we're looking for. It's, you know, looking for that.
Gotta wait for that. That's the exciting point of Ascension.
yeah. It's the team fight execution, you know, making those calls. And we've always known that GAM, not only are they mechanically excellent, but their shot calling, of course, has always been really intimidating, as we've seen throughout a lot of their games. We'll see if Ascension can keep up with that maybe, and even possibly outsmart GAM, especially once we hit that mid-game spike.
But we're always talking about Nuni. I mean, he has to be level 6, he has to be helping the bot lane. But looking at the level, he's just level 4, while Levy is level 5. What's wrong?
Ooh.
And we can just look at the CS, and we already know our answer. Nuni has not been fast in his clear time.
Oh,
and again,
my gosh.
The Marines are going to be bullying out Jisoo.
Oh.
The potion will be enough, but the sapling...
Run! Run from the... Okay. He actually survives that one. Archie blowing the ult, but it does miss. So he'll be able to survive a bit.
They do get more room, but in the mid lane, level 6 does happen for Optimus. Whereas G4 was just level 5. Whoever gets to level 6 will be shaping the mid lane.
There's that pick potential we were talking about. You know, all that Sia has to do is just roam around on that Rakan.
Oh,
very mobile. Meanwhile, of course, that top lane is going to be sacrificed. Jisoo already at a disadvantage, 51-32 on CS. And Levy also going to be getting a nice lead on that. So in terms of the tempo, GAM is clearly in control. We'll have to wait and see, though, how Ascension responds to this once they hit that level 6. Can they find those team fight openings?
Well, the only moment where they had the chance to change everything was level 6. But it's the fact that the Marines, they're already on level 6. I mean, look at the bot lane. Right now, not just level 6 just yet, but it's the painful fact that Optimus is level 6 first and putting more pressure on the G4. He can't even roam towards the bot lane.
We'll have to see. Maybe Ascension can find some openings because they do have the vision though. Their vision on both top and bot side is actually very defensive. They can spot out if ever Levy tries to go for the invade. Maybe they can try and catch him off guard. You know, maybe Levy will make a careless invade and they can try and pick him out with that because they do have the CC. If they can play around the bot or mid side and give G4 those kills so he can snowball, maybe that could be an opening for Ascension.
And this blue buff will just be that. Seeing how we're expecting maybe a 2-man gank onto the bot lane.
They are spotted out by that ward though, so the bot lane of GAM will see this coming. Levy's actually also nearby, so a team fight could break out.
Levy's level 7 and Nooney is still level 5. What is going on for the jungler of Ascension?
Yeah, Nooney having a hard time catching up in terms of CS. He is farming quite quickly, especially with the Tiamat there.
Looks like their win condition was that making Nooney level 6, gank the bot lane, make Lloyd snowball, but we're not seeing this because of the time delay of Nooney. This is going to be huge. This is going to be a butterfly effect where the Marines can just really push the top without any trouble. This is bad news.
Yeah, we'll have to see though. It's not over for Ascension just yet, even though Nooney isn't level 6 yet. They just have to wait.
But 2 levels behind, isn't that huge?
Yeah, it is quite big.
Now they're taking the red buff.
Oh, red buff being stolen here. Nooney gonna have to back out. Jisoo approaching, but that's already taken away. Stun, missing barely there onto G4.
Very close call for G4. If he did connect onto him, it would be a death sentence.
And already
so far,
8 minutes in, or actually 9 minutes in, and we have a 3,000 gold lead only based on those 2 kills in the CS. So
and the shotgun towards the jungle. Look at that. Level 7 to level 5 is like huge. And now we are seeing that Nooney gave the blue buff to G4. He was supposed to get the red buff to at least compensate for that experience. Now the red buff got taken away from Nooney. This will further scale up. Levy's level 8. Nooney finally reaching level 6. Let's see if this will be Ascension's time to shine. Right now they are taking the Ocean Drake. 3 members in, no vision control for Gigabyte Marines just now.
Yeah, so GAM isn't going to see this coming. This is going to be a free Ocean Drake for Ascension. And just like you said, Nooney finally hitting that level 6.
He does have the confidence right now to do so thanks to the Glacial Prison. But maybe it's too late. Ascension will have to try and bounce back from this deficit.
Yeah, let's see. So far, still 3,000 gold lead. Around 10 minutes in the G4. Trying to go in. Actually, that's going to be
a stun over that wall for Nooney.
Oh, burning his flash, so he is going to have to back out. Such aggressive vision here coming over from GAM. They actually have vision on both sides of the jungle of Ascension. So Nooney, all of his movements are spotted. It feels a lot like TME and YG's game earlier, where Venus on that Jarvan as well was just invading. Oh, ult used.
G4 trying to buy some time. Teleport coming in. It will be a Levy finishing up Nooney. The teleport will be cancelled because, let's face it, Ascension tried to force a fight, tried to defend their turret, and they pay a heavy price.
Yeah, they didn't need to do that actually. They should have known that that was a long shot in terms of winning that engage, but they forced it, and just like you said, they had to pay the price. It's almost a 5,000 gold lead at 10 minutes in.
I mean, what would Jisoo even do teleporting in? He doesn't even have his Black Cleaver. I mean, he won't have enough damage. This will just be casualty for Ascension. And the fact that they stayed was a mistake.
Yeah.
But when it comes to Team Clash, I'd still love to believe that Nooney will be the player to really change how the dynamic can work, the control, the clash potential, even hard engages. Ascension has everything, but we cannot ignore that Levy is just so ahead of Nooney that Archie is just backing it up. Look at level 9 Archie, level 9 Levy, level 8 Jisoo, level 6 Nooney.
Yeah, so huge gap right now in the jungle, just like you mentioned. And in terms of turret score as well, it's 2-0. So it's a 6,000 gold lead at 11 minutes in, and the kills aren't even that high. It's really all on the CS. 2 lanes of Ascension are actually losing. It's both mid and top. So it's all on Lloyd actually. He's really trying to keep up. In terms of CS and itemization, he's got the BF sword, but no first core item just yet. We'll have to see maybe if Ascension can instead try and snowball Lloyd in this bot lane. They still have the turret up as well.
I gotta handle Levy. He had 5,100 gold compared to Nooney, who only had 2,800. That is just huge. And now he has the Tiamat, so he can just really take away the farm from Nooney, completely shutting him out. 94 to 35 CS.
That's crazy,
that
honestly. That's really crazy.
Ascension's control, and this is going to be huge. Nooney face checking.
Oh, no.
To his death. Double CC locked down. It will be Optimus getting the kill, but here comes G4 for the response. The barrier was more than enough to deny the damage coming from the chum of the waters. Looks like Levy will be ditching Optimus. It will just be for 1-for-1 trade in favor of Gigabyte Marines, knowing that they are further shutting down Nooney, but at least we are seeing some progress for G4's gold.
Yeah, I actually think Gigabyte Marines they kind of overkilled Nooney with there. They didn't need to use all those ults. But in any case, it was still a 1-for-1 engage. It's 13 minutes in, and still things looking very much in favor of GAM. And I guess you have to wonder, in this best of 5 series, is it going to be a continuous trend? Oh my god,
wow,
the
just
damage.
Landing that drag flag combo. Looks like Levy flashing in with a Tiamat proc will be finishing up G4. What? A huge burst of damage coming from Levy.
You know it's bad when the jungler is the same, actually is already a level over the enemy mid laner. It's level 10 on Levy to level 9 on G4. Levy just totally snowballing out of control right now.
And he has to at least capitalize this spike. He must take control of the team. Clash, never giving Ascension a chance if the Marines will really want to secure their lead. But right now we're going to be seeing...
Ooh. Oh no, Nooney.
Nooney.
Okay, he's actually going to be pushing Levy away as the TP comes in from Jisoo. So they're going to be able to secure this red buff and at least try and catch up a little bit on the levels there.
The teleport, however, I don't think it was a necessary use for G4. So I guess the Marines were like, we burned the teleport of G4. I think that's more than enough for us.
Yeah.
I mean, it is just a red buff that we denied from Nooney twice. Let him have it. He's still 2 levels behind. Okay, 3 levels behind, but right in the bottom lane. Quickness by Xiao. But a stun won't connect onto Lloyd.
Yeah, so burning Lloyd's ult though. And Jisoo's actually here.
Comes Jisoo from the top lane with the Rooster spread and dominance. Jisoo will be taking a really nice kill for himself, whereas Lloyd will be picking off the support, the Optimus actually, in the bot lane. So this is going to be a huge step forward for Ascension.
Yeah, GAM actually not keeping track of the players of Ascension there. We saw that there was actually a lot of vision on Ascension in that bot lane. So the TP comes in, it was pretty much an easy picking. Oh,
Levy with a quick decisiveness, used that catalyst in. He is being tower dive, but 3 members are still under turret. Here comes Archie for the save. Lloyd is very low, a flash in. But a Farmer Frost for the lockdown will save Lloyd's life. It'll now be Warlock and Nooney trying to get away from Archie. There is the CC from the Maokai. The stun will connect onto Archie, but Warlock trying to get away, chugging down that potion. He may survive, but does not have mana. Archie goes in for the twisted advance, securing his kill.
Alright, so that's actually a 1-for-2. Still in favor of Ascension, actually. But nevertheless, they were able to get that revenge kill. Dragon is going to be the Cloud Drake next. Don't think anyone will be going for that, but at least Jisoo is able to get a kill of his own. He finally has that Black Cleaver. And so far on the gold, 15 minutes in. It's around the 5,000 gold lead. Jisoo looking to dive with G4.
The confidence and the determination for that tower dive will really reward the mid laner of Ascension. G4, 2-3 with the Pro Belt in. That is going to be a good step forward for progress for Ascension. But I just love how that Jisoo was willing to tank those turret hits, just for the effort that G4 can come back to this game.
Yeah, G4 actually getting 2 kills there. And Optimus, he's died 3 consecutive times so far in maybe the past 7 minutes. Not such a good trend for him. He needs to watch out, take note of his positioning. But so far, that's really been in favor of Ascension. 5,000, a bit less than 5,000 gold lead as we start to approach what is really the mid-game in terms of itemization. Ascension starting to catch up. Essence Reaver is up there for Lloyd. Everyone, I think, has more or less their first core items. Nooney really trying to catch up though.
It is level 9, but Levy will just be taking away resources from Nuni, so by the time that Nuni catches up, it might just be the 25-minute mark.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be the point where Levy will stop leveling, but level-wise, the gold, I gotta say the gold difference was almost 3,000, but right now, I don't think that has changed, seeing how Levy is always constantly invading Ascension's jungle. But we're gonna be seeing this Rift Herald trying it out.
All
Wards.
So there's no vision here. Actually, no, there's only one ward, but ASC still can't see this, so they probably will not contest. G4 is pushing down the bot lane, and Archie does not have his TP, so this might be a free turret at bot if Optimus can't defend it. The way that ASC can still win this is really to beat them in the vision game.
Vision does not land onto any targets, but no way will be trying off his luck, tanking down Lloyd. Now we're seeing that. Human Reigns may go all in, but they do have the Rift Herald. This will be very rewarding, but Optimus does not connect the Sky to Wing. The barrier to deny the Chum the Waters, but under the turret, the Unleash power won't be enough. Optimus dies.
G4 with the solo kill onto Optimus. He has to be proud about that. And I was going to mention that's exactly one way that they can defeat GAM in this game. It's to take advantage of the fact that the carries of GAM are mostly immobile. So if you can win the vision game and catch GAM in the middle of their rotations, maybe G4 can kind of snowball off of that. Optimus has 4 deaths in this game. That's not usually something that we see. So maybe this is something Ascension can take advantage of. They have to give G4 the freedom to roam and at the same time keep Lloyd safe. If they can continuously do that throughout this game, they can still defeat GAM.
Oh boy, Saya regretting his decision. I don't know what he was thinking about that. But Lloyd will be gladly taking away his life.
Yeah, 19 minutes in. This is the part where ASC's composition starts to shine. We were talking about how they were really a mid-game team comp. You know, you were waiting for Renekton, Sejuani, and Warlock to just get tanky enough so that they could start to go for those team fights. Lloyd, he's starting to pick up in terms of damage, and G4's 3 kills right now, mostly onto Optimus. So if this keeps going, you know, they can really start to take down GAM. GAM, they can't get over-aggressive. You know, they can't get carried away by Levy's crazy snowballing because at this point, it's starting to fall off. So they need to be more careful.
Optimus again, will he die for the 5th time? G4, without Chum the Waters connecting, he will back off. Knowing that Optimus does have his ultimate up, that would have been a death sentence for G4.
Yeah, so we'll have to see now how both teams will go. Things are much more even at this point than they've ever been so far. GAM gonna have to start respecting that. And the Baron should be up in a couple of seconds. There it is.
Ascension doing a really good job catching up towards the lead that the Gigabyte Marines established. But right now, Ascension looking pretty good. They can still come back to this game. No, not all hope is lost. This is right now their moment to shine. They must capitalize it. If they don't make the most out of this small window of time to catch up, the Marines will just outscale them in the long run.
Yeah, we'll have to see. In terms of scaling, I'm not sure. It might still be even actually as we scale towards the late game. The vision of ASC though is improving. We could see it across the river. They do have the vision down. GAM though, trapping Jisoo.
Jisoo trying to survive with his sustain. It'll be the quickness being spent. Jisoo does make it out with his flash, but G4 will be taking the full blow of the Unleashed power. Now Ascension's alive with Gigabyte Marines. All members at the top side gives room for Ascension.
Wow,
push
so
that mid lane.
The vision there that ASC had in the river, I think, gave them information that most of GAM would be moving over to the top, and that gave ASC the opening for mid.
G4 going in onto Archie, but he does pop Izonia's. Archie's there, trying to engage in, but we do see Norway free hitting without any trouble. Levy is there, but he can't go in anymore. This is the problem when the Marines pick their fight at a very long time, but there is a turnaround.
Oh my
gosh.
gosh.
is there. The locked up for the burst. They are going to be taking down Nuni. 3 members turning the fight around. Now Levy will be going in for the counter attack. He does have enough mana for a combo. He does knock out Jisoo with Levy taking the kill.
Yeah, so Ascension, I think, actually both teams, I think, got kind of carried away at some point during those fights.
Levy not giving up just yet. Trying to really buy some time, wasting the time of Ascension. Noe has the blue buff. And now they're trying to trap Lloyd. There's the cutoff for the drag flag.
Oh, no.
Wow. Lloyd did not even last a solid 2 seconds. That was such a huge burst coming from Levy. And no way.
Yeah, it ends up becoming a 4-2 in favor of GAM, actually, that little exchange. 22 minutes in, and it's around the 5,000 gold lead for GAM. We thought Ascension could make it, but maybe we'll take a look at that replay first. So there's actually G4 moving in onto Archie. Archie and Levy kind of get trapped here, and there's no one who's able to follow up on that initial engage. So we can see Lloyd, he's moving on to the outer part of the fight, and he's actually able to put a lot of damage down. Things look pretty good here. But then Ascension, they start to move in. G4, I think, gets way too overconfident. He jumps really far into this fight. After the double kill, they should have just stopped. But then GAM, they turn around, realize that ASC had overcommitted in the fight, and they end up getting, instead of what could have been a 2-0 for Ascension, it becomes a 4-2 in favor of GAM.
And that is how the Marines love to play. Make them look vulnerable, make them look like they are losing the fight. But at that split second, that single Cataclysm's damage is more than enough to turn the tides of the battle in a way that the Marines can capitalize the overcommitment from Ascension. This is going to be Levy being this huge spike. Let's face it, a Jarvan does not have enough damage to sustain the fight too long. But that single burst, that window of opportunity would just be more than enough for Noe.
Yeah, most of the damage spells had gone onto Archie in that fight. So Levy, with the Black Cleaver and Titanic Hydra, he really hurts. Jisoo though.
Lockdown coming from Levy. Here comes Sha, but Lloyd will respond to him. Hit the quickness for the charm. Now it'll be just very low on health. He does get taken down by Archie. Now 3 versus 2. Ascension is going to be losing this fight, but we are seeing that Lloyd trying, and he does avoid the drag flag combo, but Levy still durable enough to stay long in that fight and take down Lloyd.
Yeah, Ascension pushing too far up that bot lane. I actually don't know why they were doing that. They didn't need to be there. They could have just pushed the wave a little and then moved back. This is going to give GAM a free Drake. This is actually going to be their first Drake because, well, no one really cares about the Cloud up until this point where it takes like 5 seconds to get. So it's going to be their first Drake. 24 minutes in, a 7,000 gold lead, and GAM able to slowly get that gold lead going. Baron is up though, and ASC have some vision, so we'll have to see who's able to secure this one. If GAM gets the Baron, that could possibly spell the end of the game. Ascension, they need to keep their vision up.
And we are seeing a lot of work being done by Archie in the bot side. And as you said, the Baron will be this I always say it, always will be this tipping point where a huge gamble can be placed where you can turn everything around.
Yeah.
That is the beauty of the Baron buff, where one gamble, let's say everyone dies in the pit, that's 5 members can be aced, and you get a Baron buff, 300 gold again. This is why the Baron buff is such a delicate objective that you must take time.
Yeah. You're very right, though, about the fact that the Baron fight can turn things around, especially for Ascension. Ascension, though, they have to pull off the team fight correctly. If they can get the right arrangement in a team fight, it could really make a big difference. So if, for example, Jisoo and G4 can get to the back line while Warlock and Nooney work together to keep Lloyd safe, if they can do that and lock down Optimus in no way, that could really spell the end for GAM's composition. So hopefully they can execute like that.
Okay, G4 made a mistake
G4
there, using his Trickster too early, but he does have the safety of that Zonias. Now here comes Levy for the knock up. G4 with the Trickster trying to get away. Lockdown from the Cataclysm is there, but Lloyd coming in from the backside, trying to take down Optimus, but here comes the assistance from his team. We are seeing that Warlock is there for the CC with Jisoo taking down key members of Gigabyte Marines. Now very low on health. They are trying to back away. Lloyd will not be joining in the fight just yet, but we do see Noe sustain the fight. Constant damage dishing out from him. He does pick up a really nice double kill. Now with 3 members down for Ascension, this is going to be the tipping point. We did talk about Nooney's potential to change the whole fight. Jisoo is melee. We do see Warlock, but now the gamble that opportunity for the gamble that Ascension was waiting for is gone.
Yeah, definitely true. That was the worst way that ASC could have approached that fight. It was...
Very close call, but it will be an attempt that has been denied. Warlock trying to get the Baron, but in exchange will be giving more gold value to the Marines. Here is the replay. And what happened?
So Optimus, you know, he is able to catch out G4, and Nuni tries to help him out. But the reason this was so bad is because Lloyd had to take the back line. He probably thought that he could kill Optimus in time before anything else happened, but Optimus has the barrier, so he's able to stay alive during the duration of the fight. And the problem with ASC's team composition is that once G4 and Lloyd are out of the fight, there is no damage, and no one can be strong enough to kill Optimus and No Way in time. So they need to always keep that in mind with this team composition. They need to approach it in a straightforward way where Lloyd is at the back line and G4 is the one in the back line. And not the other way around where Lloyd is the one trying to hunt.
Okay, Ascension is willing to gamble all of this. Flash of Pigeon, a really nice lockdown on 3 members of the Marines. Now is Ascension's time to shine, but we are seeing that G4 is down.
Optimus.
Same with Lloyd, not enough damage. Now we're all seeing beefy tanks trying to CC the fight. And now Levy is just playing with the heart of Ascension, just playing mind games. Optimus does pick off Warlock now with 2 for 3 trade. Still a huge favor for the Marines. Why? Because they have the Baron buff, and there is the damage standard for increased attack speed. This inhibitor will be taken down really quickly.
Yeah, well played by GAM. They had the deep vision in that area of the jungle, and they're able to catch out G4 and Lloyd in that fight. Something's definitely wrong when you see that Ascension's carries are the ones dying first every fight. They have to be the last ones alive, but Ascension can't seem to find the proper positioning whenever they enter these fights. And GAM, you know, they're just doing an excellent job of catching people off guard. We'll take a look at a replay of that fight so you can see the vision. It catches G4 off guard. The assassin wants to be the one catching people off guard, not the other way around. So he's out of the fight. Lloyd, you know, he tries to do his best, but the CC is way too overwhelming from GAM's side because they're coming from all these directions and he doesn't know where to position himself. So again, excellent vision there from GAM to catch out the carries first, and then Optimus comes in for that final cleanup.
That was a good cleanup coming in from Optimus, where I gotta say, as soon as you see Lloyd and G4 down, abort everything and just run away.
Yeah, pretty much. It would just be a wet noodle fight of the tanks if the carries are out. And right now, 10,000 gold lead at 29 minutes in. Things looking very grim for Ascension. They had hope initially, but they couldn't keep up the assassination game that G4 was already pulling off. And now they're going to have to turtle it out.
Yeah, they shouldn't have been caught up in the Baron area. Ever since they got the Baron buff, the Marines are just wrecking those lanes without any trouble, and they can't even all in, knowing that there is a Maokai and Levy has the Guardian Angel, so this is going
Warlock
to be...
is at the back line. This is a
difficult.
bit awkward.
Very
Sia,
nice dive from Sia
wow.
with the quickness wall. 4 members charmed by Sia's moves. Ascension is just heartstrung right now. Now with the dive from Optimus does get the kill. Then the Marines are just fearless. Warlock, however, is going to be trading off members. This is a really reckless dive by the Marines, but will be paying off. Jisoo kills off Saya, and now Jisoo's left alone. There is the knockoff from Warlock, and now Jisoo takes down Optimus. Now Levy, straight from the protection of the Angel. Now we're going to be seeing members of Ascension going in. The Marines really gambled their luck there. We're going to be seeing Levy. Not enough mana. He can just force and watch. He can use the
Oh my god, Archie!
Archie may clean up the fight, but here comes Levy. One more Q on to any member, but Jisoo is regenerating thanks to that red buff.
Yeah, so Archie able to survive that fight. I actually thought he was going to get possibly a double kill there, but instead he's able to keep himself alive almost at full health and back out of that. So they weren't able to secure an objective actually, and we saw that that team fight, GAM got a bit over-aggressive. Sia engaged way too early, and there was no follow-up instantly onto his engage, so it took a bit too long for them to get in there. But ASC, you know, they just have to keep this up. We'll take a look at that replay. Sia, you know, he moves in, and we see for like a solid 3 seconds, nothing's happening. But then the follow-up comes in. Warlock is actually way too absent for a long time here. And although actually GAM is able to get that initial kill onto Lloyd, the rest becomes really messy because G4, you can see him, he's actually slipping in and out, and he's able to dodge a lot of the damage. So he's able to help with the cleanup afterwards to make the exchange a bit more even. So that's what G4 wants to do. He wants to be able to slip in and out of the damage, use his Zhonya's perfectly, and, you know, go for the cleanup.
I think this was the Marines' mistake because, well, that turret has been doing a lot of work.
Yeah, definitely true. GAM can't be too over-aggressive just yet. They can't dive towers like that over aggressively. They need to find better openings, especially since Lloyd, he also has a tool to dodge a lot of their engage with that ult.
And now with Ascension with the kills cover 23 to 15. Show of the Waters won't be available for G4. This could be a time for the Marines to at least take control of the Baron and maybe take control of more objectives like the Elder Drake. Now we're seeing the Marines at the blue side of Ascension. Denying vision. They do have the element of surprise.
So this is another attempt at a push. If they can take this inhibitor, it'll really hinder ASC's potential of stealing the next Baron. 40 seconds left until the next Baron here, and that tower is melting really fast.
And whoa, that's a lot of damage coming in. And now we're going to be seeing Nooney making a place with the Glacial Prison. Here comes a flag from Ascension's two beefiest members of Fiesta happening, but it'll be no way being taken down by Lloyd. Levy's there for the Golden Burst, and G4 will be finished up by Archie. Optimus did a good job on the Unleashed Power, but now we're going to be seeing that Levy going for 2v1. Archie will be helping it out, and now members of Ascension split apart, but they are still focusing on the inhibitor. Jisoo trying to go on the Optimus. He does get kited quite a bit. Inhibitor very low, does get taken out by the Gigabyte Marines.
Yeah, so we can see that during the team fights, it's really just a competition of which team can take out the carries first. And we're seeing throughout the team fights that Optimus is usually still alive by the end of the fight. G4, he can only do so much to take out one carry, which is no way. But after that, he doesn't have all of the spells left to kill Optimus. So Optimus is able to clean up, with all of that AoE damage. And ASC's tanks can only tank out so much of it.
And so right now, from that clash, we can learn that let's say for Marines, we did see that Norway was eliminated, but for the opposing side for Ascension, we did see that Lloyd and G4. Okay, Lloyd's dead again. But G4 and Lloyd previously was removed. So obviously the Marines won the game where to take down the carries first, but I'm not sure what Ascension is doing, overextending now. Lloyd's gone. Warlock will be left for the minions to scrape him off, and now Ascension with 3 members down. Jisoo will be responding soon. This top lane turret will not even last.
Yep, this could be at 34 minutes in with a 13,000 gold lead. At 34 minutes in GAM, they made some mistakes here and there throughout the game. We saw them get picked out, maybe get a bit overconfident, over-aggressive. But here it is, the final clash.
I'm pretty sure this will be the Marines really testing Ascension. And now with the death timers for Lloyd coming up in, but it's a bit too late. It will be the second ace of the game, actually. And now with the turret down, one more turret remains. Nothing stands in the way for the Marines. This will be the first game with I gotta say, for the gold lead, a huge lead for the Marines, nearing 15,000. But congratulations to the Gigabyte Marines for winning the first game of the knockout stages. Two more wins, and they're going straight to the World's Group stage.
Exactly. So always remember the big picture, guys. Whoever wins this best of 5 goes straight to the group stage of Worlds. And so far, it's looking like Gigabyte Marines will definitely take it. However, you have to give props to Ascension. They actually found certain openings throughout this game, especially when we saw Optimus and Levy getting overconfident at times. They get caught out. Levy going for an engage, and there's no follow-up, or same for Sia when he would move in. Sometimes Optimus gets caught out by G4 as well. Maybe those are notes that Ascension can take as they move on into the next game. However, Ascension still made a lot of mistakes as well, and they have to learn from that. We'll have to review that as the game goes into Game 2. So we'll be seeing you guys in just a bit, I think, after a short break.
So guys, there you have it. This concludes the first game of the best of 5 series for the knockout stage of Gigabyte Marines, taking away the first victory, where Ascension will have to try and adjust. We have been the casters. I am Vulcan, and with me is Amplifier. We'll be back after a short break. A free hitting without any trouble. Levy is there, but he can't go in anymore. This is the problem when the Marines pick their fight at a very long time, but there is a turnaround.
Oh my gosh.
The is there. The lockdown for the burst. They are going to be taking down Nooney. 3 members turning the fight around. Now Levy will be going in for the counter attack. He does have enough mana for a combo. He does knock out Jisoo with Levy taking the kill. We are seeing that Warlock is there for the CC, just to taking down key members of Gigabyte Marines. Now very low on health. They are trying to back away Lloyd. will not be joining in the fight just yet, but we do see Noe sustain the fight. Constant damage dishing out from him. He does willing to gamble all of this. Collection a really nice lockdown on 3 members of the Marines. Now is Ascension's time to shine, but we are seeing that G4 is down.
Optimus.
Same with Lloyd, not enough damage. Now we're all seeing beefy tanks trying to CC the fight. And now Levy is just playing with the heart of Ascension, just playing mind games. Optimus does pick first. Charmed by Siena's move. Ascension is just heartstruck right now. Now with the dive from Optimus does get the kills. Now the Marines are just fearless. Warlock, however, is going to be trading off members. This is a really reckless dive by the Marines, but will be paying off. Jisoo kills off Saya, and now Jisoo's left alone. There is the knockoff from Warlock, and now Jisoo takes down Optimus. Now Levy, straight from the protection of the Angel. Now we're seeing Nooney making a place with the Glacial Prison. Here comes a flag from Ascension's 2 beefiest members of Fiesta.
No way.
But it'll be no way. Take down my Lord. Levy's there for the Frozen Burst, and G4 will be finished up by Archie. Optimus did a good job on the Unleash Power, but now we're going to be seeing that Levy going for 2v1. Archie will be helping it out, and now members of Ascension split apart, but they are still focusing on the inhibitor. Jisoo trying to go on the Optimus. He does get kited quite a bit. Inhibitor very low.
Overconfident, over-aggressive. But here it is, the final clash.
I'm pretty sure this will be the Marines really testing Ascension. And now with the death timers for Lloyd coming up in, but it's a bit too late. It will be the second ace of the game actually. And now with the turret down, 1 more turret remains. Nothing stands in the way for the Marines. This will be the first game with I gotta say, for the gold lead, a huge lead for the Marines, nearing 15,000. But congratulations to the Gigabyte Marines.